everybody, Lucas Haneman here. Welcome to this week's episode of Guitar Tone Tuesday, which is a guide to 3 essential alternate tunings. To me, alternate tunings are a great device to use if perhaps you are stuck in a rut as a guitar player, or if you just want to explore some different sounds and get inspired. We're going to talk about 2 chordal tunings today, which means that the guitar is tuned to an open chord, and we're going to talk about 1 modal tuning, and we'll get to what that means when we get to it. This first tuning, which I have my Gretsch resonator guitar tuned to, is open C. So we have C, G, C, G, C, and E. So it's an open C major chord. And as you can see, we have a lot of C's and a lot of G's. We have 2 C's here, 2 G's here, and then C there. So one thing that I love about this tuning is that we have all these octave shapes that just fit under your fingers. And it really lends itself to certain styles of music. Like I really love playing kind of pseudo-Indian style kind of world music on this. Really cool for that style. Also really great for kind of dirty blues. So as you can see, I'm just moving my hand in this kind of claw position to get some octave shapes, and I really like that. Lots of proponents of this tuning in the kind of country blues style and in kind of in the roots style of guitar playing. Blind Willie McTell loved this tuning from what I know. The late great Reverend Gary Davis liked this tuning. And there's a Canadian guitar player named Bruce Coburn who you guys should certainly check out. He's kind of more of a folky, rootsy style guitar player. He wrote a tune for resonator guitar in open C as well. It's called Sunrise on the Mississippi, and it goes a little bit like this. Definitely in that folky vibe, and I think one of the happiest pieces of guitar music ever written. Sunrise on the Mississippi, Bruce Coburn. Check it out. It's a beautiful piece of music, and he's a great guitar player. So there's a little taste of open C. Let's move on to alternate tuning number dos. So this one is open G, so another major chord tuning. Today I've chosen my parlor guitar built by Peggy White. She calls this a Riesling. It's a great guitar. I've only had this instrument for almost a year now, and it's just sounding fantastic, like a very big sounding little guitar. And I chose this guitar for this tuning, open G, because it really lends itself to blues music, especially with like a slide. It's really great for that style of guitar playing. So the tuning here is D, G, D, G, B, D. So to simplify, our low E string goes down to D, our high E string goes down to D, the A string goes down to G. So all 3 of those strings have just moved down by a whole tone. But the D string, the G string, and the B string all stay at the pitch that they are usually at. So it's a fairly natural tuning to play in, particularly with a slide. So Robert Johnson was an early proponent of this tuning. Tunes like Walking Blues. could play that kind of stuff all day. I really, really love it. And with a slide, it's great because you have these open chords that you, or I shouldn't say open chords, you have chords just by sliding around the guitar, which is really handy. And that's why a lot of slide guitar players use open tunings like this. But it also lends itself to kind of the folkier style. There's a great musician who I had the chance to open for a couple of years ago named John Butler from Australia. He plays a lot in tunings like open G. Jimmy Page also used open G on a lot of the earlier Zeppelin stuff. So, you know, things like this. It just sounds big. It makes the guitar sound more expansive, and just by moving simple shapes around, you get these beautiful, gorgeous sounds that would not be possible in standard tuning. Let's move on to tuning number 3. Today I've chosen a dreadnought guitar for this tuning because I just think it sounds great, personally. This is called Dad-Gad. So, that does not mean that your dad is named Gad or Steve Gadd, for all you musicians out there. But it just means that the guitar is tuned D-A-D-G-A-D. D-A-D-G-A-D. So, when I strum that, it doesn't sound like a minor nor a major chord. It's kind of in between. It could be either, right? That's why we call this a modal tuning. So the guitar is not tuned to an open chord per se, although this could be a chord. But by doing things like, for instance, simply putting my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, it starts to sound like a minor sus4 chord. But if I bring that finger just up 1 fret to the 4th fret, it's a major sus4 chord. So it's very open-ended. And a lot of guitar players who use this tuning are kind of in that contemporary finger-style guitar school. Full disclosure, I think I kind of suck at that style of guitar playing. I'm not very good at it, but I'll try to improvise something that kind of gives you a taste of what people like, you know, might use in this tuning. So a bit more contemporary sounding. Just things like that. I mean, it's just I like improvising in these tunings because they're great for that. You know, one thing I will say is that I think it's really important to get to know your guitar in standard tuning, but these alternate tunings are a great gateway to getting some different sounds from your instrument, and certainly for writing music and for becoming a more competent improviser. One thing I love doing is just setting a timer for like half an hour and then improvising in one of these tunings, and you'd be amazed what you come up with. I mean, they're just a great gateway for creativity. So in the comment sections below, please let me know, what are your favorite alternate tunings? Do you have any favorites that I did not mention here? That's it for this week. Please like, share, and subscribe. We will see you guys and girls again next Tuesday.